Hello from Southern Ontario, September 26th, where it's now electric sweater season. So anyways, I want to go back to the Mayans, actually the Aztecs, well, whatever, they're all in the same neighborhood, but it was actually the Aztecs who were in possession of Mexico City with Montezuma when Cortez, the Spanish explorer, arrived there. And, when's the first official date? 1519. Cortez took over what is now Mexico City, but I think they were there as early as 1500. I'm not sure. So, anyways, nobody quite concurs how much gold they took out of that region over what period of time. Over 100 tons seems to be agreed upon, and one site I was looking at said 181 tons of gold and silver. To put that into perspective, most charts are in agreement the States is in possession of 8,133 tons. 8,000, long ways away from 180. Yeah, okay. No two gold charts differ. If you Google countries' possessions of gold, I see a year ago they were all pretty much in concurrent. Now they're wildly disparate. Canada has no gold. Trudeau sold it all 4 months after attaining power. Canada is one of only 6 countries in the world that possess no gold. Good work, sock boy. Anyways, we'll never know how much gold was taken, gold and silver, from South America by the Spanish. I mean, shipwrecks, dubious accounting, and a whole new industry that was flourishing at the time called privateering, which was legalized piracy, as the British Crown authorized privateers to be pirates and steal the Spanish gold from their galleons. Again, along with shipwrecks and all that. Bear with me, this has a political theme in today's world. So it made Spain by far and away the richest country in the world at the time. It doubled the amount of gold in the entire European continent. So what did they do with all that? Well, let's take a step back and say it wasn't just between 1500 and 1560 they took all this gold out. I mean, 80% of the peoples in the region, be they Mayans or Aztecs, and there were some other factions there, 80% of them died from old world diseases that they had no immunity to, smallpox and a host of others. But anyways, the ones that didn't croak were pretty much enslaved to mine the gold and silver that was in the region. I think it was 1810 before the Mexicans started booting the Spanish out. So they were there a long time, still taking out gobs and gobs of gold. Now, the Industrial Revolution began in 1760. So what happened there was, well, first off, all the gold that went back to Spain, I mean, it didn't do the peasants any good. It went to the ruling aristocracy, the elite, you know, that term. And it caused massive inflation in Spain, 400% in fact. So if anything, the peasants suffered all the worse for it. The ruling elite squandered a lot of it on absurd religious wars and trying to hold on to some lands that weren't theirs in various places. I don't know, Peru, whatever. But they squandered a lot of it buying goods from, like, Germany, Austria, Switzerland. They pumped a lot of money into those other countries, the ruling elite buying Stupid stuff. Let's just call it that. And fueling the Industrial Revolution. So while again, their surrounding countries, neighboring countries in Europe, prospered from all that gold in the form of the ruling elite squandering it on gizmos and gadgets and junk. Spain never recovered from it. They've been impoverished, well, for 3 centuries afterwards. Kind of sound like what we do with China over the last couple of decades. We've made them quite wealthy buying junk from them and furthering their development to no one's good end with their warmongering policies. But anyways, you see the parallel there, and kind of brings us to oil here in Canada. A lot of money leaves our country going to other places to buy their oil instead of producing our own. Kind of a lot like the Spanish with all that Mayan or Aztec or Peruvian gold, eh? What? Mm-hmm. Yeah, told you there's a political bent in the story. So that's the end of Montezuma's tale. His name actually meant 2 or 3 different things. One of them was angry like a lord, and another one of the meanings of that name was water monster. And if you saw in the previous video where he flooded the city, the capital city, and wiped everybody out, well, seems kind of ironic, doesn't it? And I think that's about all I had to say on Montezuma there. Christopher Columbus, he was a Spanish explorer as well, from the same era, but I don't think his navigational skills were quite up to that of Vasco da Gama and Ferdinand Magellan and Cortez. Being as Columbus found America and thought he was on the continent of India. Anyways, that's story time for today. I didn't have time to get into the politics. Somebody commented, would I look into the ArriveCan app? Yeah, don't put a lot of faith in that. That doesn't affect Canadian citizens very much at all. Anyways, I'll see if I can find time to get into that for you.